What is happening? J Gamer Dude here, and I definitely like talking about the Tony Hawk games, especially Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Tony Hawk Underground. THPS and Thug are really, really good skateboarding games. Granted, games like Proving Grounds and stuff like that, they don't really get too much of a great rap, but it's because these games kind of released on every single platform known to man. Whether it be the GBA, the Xbox, and then you had like the PS2 version and the PS3 version, and then it would just be some sort of like mixed up amalgamation of different games having different types of content, different versions of different courses, and it just kind of became really like a massively confusing mess. With that being said though, Tony Hawk's 1+2 was an absolutely incredible remake. Make no mistake, it is an absolutely brilliant game. Unfortunately though, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 remake was supposed to happen, but was rejected and in favor of having more Call of Duty. So apparently the claims put together are that Activision preferred seeing Vicarious Visions as a support studio instead of a lead development studio, despite the fact that Tony Hawk's 1+2 was so incredibly good. It was so much fun. Playing it at 120 FPS was amazing. It looks great. The recreation of things like the hangar, the mall, it really does bring you to a really nice warm place on the inside. Being able to go through like school, for example, that was a great course as well. Like, there's just so much good stuff, a lot of fun to be had, and it's just really, really unfortunate. So this is actually coming from video game historian Liam Robertson at Did You Know Gaming via the VGC, or Video Games Chronicles. So this is on the GameSpot article through. So I'm reading this on GameSpot, which is kind of like a bit of a chain going on by Darren Bonthus? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's by Darren. So originally, they were supposed to do 3 and 4 in the original remake. Okay, that's interesting. But then they realized it's too big of a project. And so they added some features like the reverb and things like that into 1+2. And I mean, that's kind of where like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and stuff kind of had like a lot of major updates and improvements on, especially back in the past. Well, it's really unfortunate to see what's happening, because Vicarious Visions was shut down and then absorbed into Blizzard back in April of 2022, and then was rebranded to Blizzard Albany. So now they no longer exist. And the thing is that we thought that the same was going to happen for Toys for Bob. Luckily it didn't, but still the fact of the matter was that we were scared that they were also going to be shut down, because they did shut down their offices physically. However, it was worth pointing out that they were still, like, the studio was still alive and well and working, albeit from home. So while the physical location of their office was shut down, it doesn't change the fact that they could still work from home. So Toys for Bob has now since been separated from Activision Blizzard after Microsoft had acquired them, and there has been some tease that we would eventually get maybe another Spyro game through Toys for Bob in the form of a possible Spyro 4 or a possible Spyro remake, either Into the Dragonfly or A Hero's Tale. But I don't imagine that really sort of being the case. If I were to see either or being remade between Into the Dragonfly and Hero's Tale, I'd rather see Into the Dragonfly as a remake, or a Spyro 4. Either of those I would be happy with, but that's a different piece of discussion. And it's funny to think that like Tony Hawk has been a franchise that hasn't really been touched all that much, especially in recent memory, because there were some god-awful games in the form of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 back in 2015. And there was like Tony Hawk's Motion, there was the DS version of Downhill Jam and stuff like that. So there was a lot of interesting titles that just weren't all that good at all. 1+2 had done everything correctly. It could not have been any better. However, what could have made it better was the fact that if we had gotten a 3+4, that would have been absolutely incredible. It would have been very nice, but unfortunately, this is just sad news that has been confirmed to be true. Now, back in the day, I was kind of speculating, okay, it's just the Call of Duty machine. That's kind of what Activision has always been, and that's the thing that makes them money. So there's no surprise that they would stop doing 3D platformers. And with the acquisition by Microsoft, the biggest concern was that moving forward, if there were any 3D platformers or Tony Hawk games coming out, that we would never get it on any other platform, more specifically PlayStation, and that we would be missing out. But that would not be enough for me to buy an Xbox. In fact, that would probably just increase my ire towards Xbox and be like, I just hate the company even more, like the opposing company more, because they are keeping something away from me that I would have preferred to likely have. But I won't go out of my way to buy that console, even if it is one of the most anticipated games I would ever want to play. So I suppose that's kind of what Phil Spencer meant by, even if you made 11 out of 10 games on the Xbox that people might not necessarily move over, not a single game but multiple games, because eventually you have to kind of build yourself up that way. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comments below. The fact that we could have gotten a Tony Hawk's 3+4 but never did, because Activision was like, nope, you are going to become another Blizzard studio and you are going to support Call of Duty for pretty much moving forward forever and ever, and turn into the giant turning mass that is the meat machine known as Call of Duty, because we need as many people, as many bodies to throw into the machine as we can to be able to turn it into a god-awful shooter. Because the Call of Duty remake, not even remakes, but like the modern, like them redoing Modern Warfare is much worse, even though it looks better and plays maybe a little bit better, but is done significantly worse than the original Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. Like the original releases back between, I think it was like 2011 was Modern Warfare 3, so it would have been 2007 to 2011. Between those years we got those 3 games, and they were still way better than what we got during the past sort of few years. So that's something definitely worth highlighting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of the year, and with all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.